The Origins of Life, Waves of Enlightenment, Part 5. Right, so when I'm making these videos, I don't really script them out like that. I mean, like the pictures kind of are my script. They're kind of like my bullet points and stuff. So I kind of like glean over what I'm doing as I'm going along, you know what I mean, or what I want to say, kind of thing. And sometimes I kind of forget a lot of the things I wanted to say, you know what I mean? So there's an abundance of things which, yeah, I'll talk about on panels or, you know what I mean, in conversation and stuff, and it just comes out in that kind of sense and stuff like. But sometimes, and when I'm talking, a lot of my ideas it'll come on that spot, you know what I mean? It'll fill that space in where, you know, other things I wanted to add or whatever and stuff. Obviously, the main thing of what I wanted to say about whatever picture it is there. But sometimes it's just like little tiny bits or, you know, extra things to add to it. And there's an abundance of things which I want to add to it and stuff like. But so with this one, I added stuff to it which I weren't expecting to. You know, like the aspect of like for it to be floating. Now this is due to like a lack of information. It's kind of like I don't know what's beyond there and all these kind of things. You know, I don't know what's, you know, I know this part. That's about it. You know what I mean? We've got a torus field, and we've got a flat plane of land which is, you know, existing there and stuff like. In terms of floating, I still don't like it. You know, it's kind of like, in one sense, a question about the stars. Are they kind of like, because if you match that frequency, are you able to go there and that's just another plane of existence? And because they exist, it just depends whether they're them or not and stuff like. Because if they're part of our system, you know, our torus field system, then it begs a lot of questions. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, in one sense, it could be just like all part of one plane and just like vast distances that, you know, maybe they use portals or stargates or whatever to get to them in the past or whatever, you know, or just astral projection, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, when if I read a novel and at the beginning of it, it might not describe the character, or it might just, you know, there's too little information. So I don't put any imagery in for what the writer's not described. You know, so in a sense of like when you're researching, it's kind of like this area is kind of black because I don't know, I can't see. You know what I mean, and stuff like. But as it goes, you know, we've got something. You know, we've got this column, and it's kind of like, well, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, on the, like we were saying before about like the sun and like the NASA's version of this and stuff like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, how do they have this information? Where did they get the research? Where's the data? You know what I mean? For all this, because like, you know, it's just another thing for the Goldilocks zone. You know, it's like Goldilocks zone just seems to get bigger and bigger. So rather than floating, I kind of think when we look at stuff like this, we can see the column. So, you know, is there a stem which holds us up? And, you know, there's like it's supposed to be like 4 pillars and all that kind of thing. So, you know, there's a lot to speculate because it's like, you know, I can't provide that concrete evidence as such. But we do have this. It's quite common in nature and stuff like. And this is a familiar pattern as well. We've got it in other locations. I've got a folder which I'm hoping to fit within this video, but we're nearly 5 minutes into it now, and I've got no chance of doing all of this folder in one video. I can tell. that's that seashell that had the smiley face with the waves, and this is the side of it, and now it looks like the flower, or like a flame. Um, and you can see like the pine cone shape. They're like waves, but if you're gonna, all you have to do is kind of change the shape of it slightly. You can see it there. There's like lips to it and stuff like. Um, and then we've got this one as well. We've got this kind of like, again, it's like a cup, isn't it? And it's also got a lid to it as well. So this is like showing you stuff on outside and stuff as a potential. Again, you got your Taurus field in center, which is, the baby kind of thing. Everything's got a Taurus field on it, so. Then getting back into this, it's, so basically before I wanted to be like open about what's underneath and all these kind of things like. I especially don't like the floating aspect of it. um, so having a stem, as it it makes more sense. It just seems like like we're actually on like a super giant flower kind of thing. Um, but I didn't really think of it as exactly like that. More like in a spiritual sense, like the spirit body, the light body of what Earth is, rather than its physical aspects. You will look at the human body and we see the physical aspects. Then we look at the light body and you can see like where the lines of chi, where they go down, up and down, like towards the meridian gates and all these kind of things. So with that light body, you get your Taurus field as well, all that kind of stuff. So then like the Earth's light body and stuff like. But anyway, so back onto this. um, when meditating, if you do that meditation more like the empty mind kind of thing, you let thoughts come and go and stuff like that kind of thing. But if you can like kind of concentrate on that, not on your thoughts as such, it's more in the sense of the empty mind. If you concentrate on like your spiritual awareness, your spatial awareness with it and stuff like your spirit body in that kind of sense. So like your auric field and being able to like sense and feel that, and it's kind of like the more that you connect to that, the more your aura kind of grows and expands and stuff. So the more you meditate, the more that happens, and so when you're doing that, it's you kind of it's like you can feel the floor. I mean, you can feel the floor where you're sat anyway, but it feels like you can feel more. You know what I mean? It's like your spatial awareness. It seems to expand in a way, um, and so you got your top half, and then you got your bottom half. Oh. So like how that has a top and a bottom. It's like that awareness for this area. So like you have the thing at the top, like the spike, which was shown you on a previous video. It's like you being a fuse between heaven and earth, right? You've got the top bit, your crown, and you got your root as well. So you are connected to it all, the heavens and the earth. So becoming, more meditative and all these kind of things, you're becoming more connected to all that. So you know what I mean? It's like the micro is becoming more connected to the macro. So in terms of that, it's relevant to that. It's got that underneath part. So that's where you are, and you can feel this part, and then there's the heavens or whatever and stuff. And then you look at the shape. So is the realm more shaped like that? It's more rounded in the middle, or even its center. So the Taurus field can be round, but it's suggesting for it all to have that shape. I see a flame. It's got that flame shape, but then it's got all this as well. So that one. And sea urchins, the ones which look like they've got eyes all over them, they're like those biblical angels, which is just something I wanted to add to it. So then we've got this again, and looking at this shape, and then look at this shape. It's the opposite way around. So that's like the head of a flower, and that's like the stem. So so it's like that. Again, this is facing the other way, so you get the stem going that way. The next picture. So you got the rollet wave, that's where its nose is. So you get all froth and where it breathes. And you got the line which meets its eye, then it creates this tear shape, and then it follows it with another line, which generally, on mine, it follows it down that way, and that seems to like taper off there. So if you go on there, it's like the same way. So you see its eye be looking that way. It's like, you know, its side of the face. Its beak would be here, and that would be its spine. You know, that line would match up with its spine kind of thing. So if it had a mask, I don't know. So you see it there, you can, it's only faint, but you can see it seems to go down there. See, these feathers kind of come out a different way, slightly. So you can see that line. So you also remembered it on the fish. We saw that kind of the hump and then the line. So it doubles up onto that, like. So the hump and then the line. It's bent, but on the fish should be straight. Again, the blue iris with the white of the eye as well. You see that human connection. And then all your line, your tapered tear shape, and then all your water patterns as well. That direction of water, how it splashes. Every little splash is a tiny feather. How sunlight catches. In its photograph, not the actual sunlight. It's a tear shape, and then a line. It's on all plants, it's on all feathers in that way. There's not all feathers have an eye, but it tapers into there, and you can see the feathers kind of joining together. It's kind of relevant to this, but you get your spotting and you get the line with the spine kind of thing. Normally, you've got the you can see through this fish. You know, if you've got a silver fish and you can't see through it, and it's got a line and a hump, then you know it's gonna like showing you the same thing. So then we've got it again. This time we can see its sun. You see, like this, how the light kind of splays out in that sense and stuff. It must be like overhead. But how it's gone black as well. So this is a thing I wanted to mention, and also with like the eclipse and stuff, like Being recent, you've got like I don't know good examples of it. Like look at its eye, for example. It's black in centre, and then it's got that light on the outside and stuff. Now, this is massively common, like on loads of fish pictures and stuff. Like sometimes it's a white sun, sometimes it's a black sun, sometimes it's black with a ring, or white with a ring. So, like, deciding whether they're all eclipses. I mean, maybe the eclipse has got something to do with the origins of life. It's like cycles ending and beginning and all these type of things and stuff. But there's not many with like this kind of picture on it. It begs the question because like sometimes I can see the water, seeing the sun, because it can't blink. It's just looking at it all the time, so it kind of gets like it burns the retina in a sense. If you look at the sun and then you look away, and you've got a stain in your vision, haven't you? So it kind of like it'll change colour way in it and stuff. But so it doesn't have to be the eclipse. I kind of think some of them are. You remember the moths with the with a half moon on it. And it's like that could have been an eclipse as well, rather than it being a half moon. But I mean, also to be questionable because there's multiple. It's got 5 as that one, and its eye. So this is like 3, 4, and its eye. But we've got different amounts on each of them and stuff like. But if this were like all day, different. That's like morning, nighttime, fruit day. The camera's taking the picture, or is it just one moment in the day? And because the ocean's vast, it's kind of looking from different angles, and it's kind of like it's trying to include it all, like just one photo, but from several lenses and stuff. Like the previous moth and the previous video, the moth with the hippo head, its wings look like the entire face of the ocean. It's got every peak and trough reflecting sunlight. So you can do more than one. It's just that, it depends. It's like, but quite often with a fish that look like morning, that look like nighttime. It's got the morning colours and then the sunset colours at the end and stuff. Which that makes sense, because you've got your process along when we showed you chakras and all that kind of stuff. Like, so when the sun goes down, it meets the pineal gland, and it's like the last thing we see, as the ocean. So if we're staring out, we can see the sun setting. We loved its presence all day because we were communicating with it, and we could feel the warmth of it and all these kind of things. And it's good for life, isn't it? So the ocean must love it. So sunset, it's like once the sun goes down, is the ocean longing for it to come back? Is it like, does it miss it? Is it like, oh, it's gone now, and does it know that it's going to come back? It should be able to do. I think it can figure things out. I kind of think it must be able to look at the geniosity of how it designs things in these ways and stuff like. But there's something in it. I mean, it's like connected to those emotions. It's connected to what we experience in life, in terms of emotions and stuff, grief and happiness and all these things and stuff like. It comes from the ocean. It must do in that sense and stuff like. So, and this is why the sunset is so common with the animal patterns and stuff. It doesn't have to be just a sunset. There's so many different ones, but it is a popular one, and especially the sun itself and stuff. its eye, like the eclipse. Again, it doesn't have to be a big eclipse. It can just be like the staining of a retina in that way and stuff. So yeah, this is taking 2 pictures. Both at sunset. It might be sunrise and sunset. But it wouldn't be an eclipse on sunrise and then eclipse on sunset, would it? Unless it's just 2 parts of ocean at the same time taking the picture. So there is potential, you know what I mean? It could be, but that's a really good picture of like the sun and how it's reflected on ocean and stuff. See, like the body of the water is the ocean. You can see the crisscross pattern, and the fin is what splashes out of the body. So that's splashing into air, and that's where you can see the sun. You know, when it splashes up, it must be able to see from every bead of water. Daytime, nighttime. Again, it could be just one picture, or it could be not the eclipse, and a 24-hour kind of picture with two specialising on sun this time. You know, like I said, there's different ones. So we've got the black sun. So that could be burning the retina, you know, rather than an eclipse or anything. You know, it's like that overexposure, so it's stained the image that much, it's come out black or whatever and stuff like. It's the same if you get like a ring, you know, it's, you know, like I previously said, kind of thing. You got a stretched sun mark there. The water moves, doesn't it? But also the sun moves as well. So you've got that trail aspect of things. And then you've got your hump shape there as well, part of your wave. You can see it's turning over, kind of thing. That's why it's so high further back. So you got one like that, and then you got one like that. That's part of its fin, but it's still showing you that black sun mark, kind of thing. His face there, and it's got 2 fins. It kind of looks like a creature, sideways. You got your sun on each fin. So it's a splash of water, so you can see the sun through that splash of water. It's another splash of water, you can see the sun through that splash, you know, at the same time. And then this is a wave coming towards you. It's all crashing and turning over, which is just the side of the fish. But, you know, if that were a face, that'd be its mouth. And then you got the splash of its tail as well. It's just splashing out. But so it's like on shore somewhere. But again, you know, you can see how it becomes like an ear. In a way, because you got something there and you got something there. Obviously, that's a face, like, but so more of that sun. And then you got when it's at both sides. It looks like a dog or a seal or something, you know. And its eyes looking forward. And then your owl, which, yeah, I think it's just one butterfly. Could be 2. So again, for eye and gold around it and stuff like, with sunlight. And then the rest of its body all with sunlight as well. And it's got a dome. With sun as well. You remember the dragonfly, and you looked at its eye, at bottom half were like this, and it looked like the seafloor, and then it looked like the depth of the ocean, because that'd be like a blue, and that'd be like a yellowy colour, or, in contrast. It depends, because sometimes it's sunset and it's all red, and that's like a dark red. But, as a photograph, the eye is on the line. The eye on the line, and some sunspots. Sunspots on tiger. So this is white with black ring. It's like inverts the photo. Maybe it's burnt the retina that much. So much overexposure, it's gone from black to white. I'm not sure, but... Oh, yeah. You see the sun? The old drag behind it. As it moves across the sky. It's like the ocean is staring at the sun. And it's not just one moment, you know what I mean? Because it's like it's captured the time of it. Like if it's nighttime and you see a car come past and it's got its lights on, and the moment it's gone past, you've got a trail of light coming past in your eyes and stuff like. And so it's like that, but because it's like it's a lot longer for the sun to move that much. But the sea, it's got all day, hasn't it? And sometimes it's less. Again, that's connected to its gills, is that one. You got that one. It's got like a wake around it. I don't know if it's light or... But then, you can relate that to the guppy pictures and stuff like... they're kind of like connected to like the froth on ocean and stuff, but that could have something to do with it as well. So moving on to this bit. This is a little bit different. We're going to go a different way, and this is going to be later, but we've only got a few minutes left, so our connection to the water, the ocean, the mystery of like why animals do this is because of the memory in water. The fact that this is where we came from. It's kind of like a therapeutic thing, I suppose. It might even be more than that, but this is, I think it's like reindeer, and they're all like running around in circles and stuff. But you see how it splashes in and then splashes back out. It gets too small and tight, so we have to splash out. Much like a wave. Maybe it's a reindeer. Goats, I think. Captured doing it independently. And then you get like a lion in a zoo. It's in a prison. And so, like, the therapeutic aspect of doing this, it must be better for it to do that. It must be calming its nerves. It's like, and it's a natural thing. It must, not being imprisoned, that's horrible. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a good thing for it to be in there at all, and all that kind of stuff. Like, even walking in circles. Seems to me like a sign that it needs to be brought out of there so it can live its life properly. At the moment, it's like reconnecting to the ocean whilst it's doing that. It's like, if it connects to source, then, it's got something at least, So I mean, humans do it. You know what I mean? We pace up and down and all these kind of things and stuff like ants, more ants, and fish. Dogs chase with tail as well. You know, it's everywhere. Like, yeah, that's the last one. It ends on Fibonacci spiral towards the sun, which is quite cool. So yeah, I'll crack on with the next one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all later. Thank you.